I'm gonna start off with, the masquerade meet cute. It's like a fairy tale. What pushes Sophie the extra step to kiss Benedict? And what about that pushes him to search for her? Because he's not taken off guard usually. And I think that that's one of the most, surprising things he's probably ever experienced at one of these.
I think for Sophie, because she knows it's one night, like she only has a few hours to actually dream and do something that she's never done before. And in her mind, I think she's probably thinking that she'll never meet this gentleman again. And so she takes the leap of faith and does things that she dreams about doing. And probably one of them is to be able to kiss a man and to feel like genuine connection with somebody that she's never had before. So I think there is a moment of hesitation, but then when she turns around, she's like, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to live my princess fantasy for this one night.
And also she's kind of put Benedict completely on the back foot. As in, like, I think he's, I think he's in some sort of weird state of shock, I think. Yeah. Because I think it is such an unexpected meeting for him to feel put off balance a little bit by this person who's not telling him who she is. And so I think he's so intrigued. But I think that I love that when obviously Sophie runs away and then he's just there for about, a good few seconds. You're like, what are you doing? Run. Yeah. But it's like it's like
what happened.
It's shock, isn't it? I think when those sort of encounters happen and you feel that sudden affinity, and particularly I think with Benedict, I think it's a bit like that's never happened to him ever before, I think. Yeah.
When they meet again at Cavender House, he asks, is she sure that they haven't met? Because originally she's waiting for him to recognize her, and obviously he doesn't. How did you infuse those like invisible string moments into your performances?
I feel like it's a lot in the writing as well, and like even in the fine print, that kind of. And we always say it's a bit of like a cat and mouse game. Like they always just constantly miss each other, and it's. I think when you have a really strong creative team and set design, that also creates an environment where that can all work in your favor. I think it's quite easy. And then obviously we work with incredible directors because sometimes what you're playing might not be as strong enough or might not read strong enough. So to know that you can trust great directors and take their lead into trusting how much you want to push that tension, I think really helps you as an actor in those moments as well.
Definitely. I think also actually moments like that when you're playing them, it's almost like you have to block out the audience. The more you play against the audience reaction, because obviously the audience reaction is like, yes, you do know each other. But it's quite fun actually as an actor to be like, I know that's what the reaction is going to be. So in order to sort of like push it even more in the opposite direction, because the audience will do the job of like, oh my God, they're meeting. So you just have to play. I think in that moment, I just really wanted to play the moment of non-recognition as straight as possible because it's not, it's sort of really odd. And, it's one of those moments where you could sort of suspend your struggle to suspend your disbelief because you're like, but surely like he'd recognize her. But actually, well, first, I think the design does an awful lot of the job. Like I think you do look so different as those two women in his head. But also it's his own blindness. You have to trust that like he just can't put those two things together. So actually the more straight you play it, the more you invite the sort of, audience reaction. But you're right. There are loads of moments like that where we've had to sort of just be like, no, that's just, it just is what it is. It just is,
yeah.
There are so many pivotal moments of connection at my cottage. Which one do you think is the most fortifying for their relationship? Whether it's like the kite scene, the lake scene, the study scene, which one did you enjoy filming most or do you think is most, pivotal to their relationship going forward?
Do you want to say it on 3 and see if we say the same one?
Yeah, okay,
3,
let's go.
2, 1.
Lake.
Kite. No! Kite for me.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. Maybe it's different for different people.
No, I would usually say kite, but I just think, for Sophie, I just realized like that kiss really sparks like an anxious attachment.
Yeah.
Or an avoidant attachment, I should say, maybe.
I think it's for me the kiss the kiss is like a bizarre like echo of the masquerade ball. But I think no. The only reason why I said the kite scene is I think you really get to see their how Sophie sort of like it gets Benedict back on the ground sometimes, and Benedict encourages her to lifts her up. So I don't know. I think that one. Again, maybe not in a sort of like really, I don't think he has that moment and thinks, oh my God, that's changed everything. But in this sort of like story logic, I think it is a very defining scene in terms of their
I do usually say kite. But I think I just thought about the kiss in the
No.
lake and then I went, maybe lake.
But maybe it was the lake. Maybe it was the lake
even
for Sophie.
I think for Sophie it was, well, really, it's the masquerade ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Sophie.
Yeah, it is.
You know, in the book, Benedict asks Sophie to be his mistress during the lake scene, but in the show that you guys shipped it to the staircase moment. What makes it more impactful placing that big question in that scene in particular versus putting it in the lake?
That it's in the lake in the book.
Yeah.
Well,
and also, you're very persistent in the book.
Yes.
And I think it does turn into a little bit of a grey area, which we didn't want to turn. Well, I'm assuming the writers didn't want to make it that way. And didn't want to make Benedict be portrayed a certain way in that sense, because.
Well, I guess when it's in the staircase scene, it's when they're in the real world. I think actually in the dream world, he would have said like, "Will you marry me?" But I think because they're in this, I love the logic of the staircase, the idea of like, she's coming up and he's coming down, and they're in Bridgerton house, like in the sort of like, just. Well, what is it like the servants' quarters?
The servants'
essentially.
quarters, yeah.
So I guess it's about. It makes more sense there because it's almost like I feel like the what I love about this season is that a lot of the time the context is what shifts the relationship rather than they don't necessarily change so much. They're changed by the condition that they're in. So when they're in my cottage together, they behave in a certain way. When they're in the masquerade ball, they behave a certain way. And suddenly when they're in Bridgerton house, they're suddenly like, oh, now we're suddenly, there's this weird divide between us. Yeah. So in that sense, I think the offer comes from a more real, in some level comes from a desire from Benedict to be realistic, I guess, maybe.
Less in fantasy land.
Yeah.
The delivery is just really funny. I was like, he really thinks he ate with that question. He was like,
I remember you were like smirking. You were like, it's just...
Yeah, it is. It's humiliating. No, because you're right. I think it is. It's a lovely moment, I think, because I think, we think of Benedict as someone who's actually tends to be pretty sensitive and tuned into what other people want him to do. And so for someone like that to get it so spectacularly wrong, it's like watching like a really established singer like sing off key.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And be like, oh wow.
You got it so wrong.
Yeah.
Sophie obviously is resistant to this offer. What is it about like his love confession in the 5th episode that kind of begins to soften her to the idea of embracing a romance with him?
Well, I think when she hears the word love, I think that holds so much weight for her, and also probably it is something that she has craved for her entire life. But I think after Ep 4, that chase, she assumes that he just sees her as a toy, essentially, something to just have fun with, and I think she.
Keep hidden.
Yeah, exactly. And she's been hidden her entire life, and she knows her worth, and she wears that necklace in a reminder of her mom and everything to not be and not become. But then that love confession, I think, when he confesses that she is all he thinks about, and he loves her, that's when the walls really start to come down. Yeah.
Benedict shares his plans for the future in like this really cute like garden meetup in the 6th episode. And he also gets really candid about his sexuality. He tells her like that he's had relations with men and women. Why is Sophie's accepting reaction so important in that moment?
I think I would, I certainly take Benedict at his words when he says, I refuse to be ashamed about it. And I think that actually what's refreshing or maybe slightly unusual about, for want of a better word, this coming out scene, is that it actually feels like it is totally for her benefit, as in it's something about being honest and proving that he can be honest about things rather than sort of like trying to exercise any sort of sense of shame, which, as I say, obviously I'm not saying that's not a possible reaction of that kind of things. And, we've had lots of stories about repression and the angst of repression and sexuality. But I do think Benedict is striking as a male character in that sex seems to be just something that's undefined about him. And I don't think that bothers him, which is quite surprising and I think quite refreshing for a male character. Yeah. So yeah, I just think that the gesture is not really about him. It feels like it's just trying to show to Sophie that he is serious and that he's willing to show all of who he is, rather than just give her a part of him. Yeah.
I think, yeah, love is something to be proud of in all forms and different types of relationships. And I think for her, it's something that's lacked her entire life. And again, this season is so much about accepting a person for their entirety, for all their flaws. And, even he says he refuses to be ashamed of it. And I think she genuinely is like, well, yeah, I don't think you should. And she also wants that to be reciprocated for her because she also has secrets that she hides and is scared to let him in. But that act of him opening up and laying it all out on the table, I think she sees it as a very courageous act and also a very vulnerable and beautiful one, which she struggles with. So, yeah, I think there's not a single point in Sophie's head where it comes across as negative at all. Yeah.
Sophie confesses that she's illegitimate to him. And you said she's holding all these secrets. And we later learn that she thinks she's undeserving of love because of the lies that Aramin just sold her about her father. How does Benedict's reassurance change her point of view when it comes to love?
I think that's all she wants is for somebody to see her. And the fact that he doesn't really care about her legitimacy status or whatever you want to call it, and the fact that she's a maid, all those titles are completely smashed in for him to just accept her. But yeah, I think that's all anybody wants is just to be heard and for it to be listened to. She's been kind of ignored and misunderstood her entire life and felt betrayed, and to have someone reassure her, sometimes it's that small gesture that can feel so big to somebody else. And that small act can really change someone's life. And I think Benedict really does that for Sophie.
You guys have some pretty memorable intimate scenes in the show, whether it's the staircase or the bathtub. I have to ask you, which one was technically more challenging? Because I feel like you guys were given the technically most challenging sex scenes in the show overall.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like
if there'd been episode 9, it'd have been high wire or acrobatics. I don't know.
The side of a cliff.
Yeah, the side of a cliff. No, I mean, it was the water.
Bath.
The bath. It's a long time to be in a bathtub.
Pretty
It takes a day to
oily.
it takes a day to film a scene like that. Over a day. It took 2 days.
Over a day.
And that's a long time. You end up being shriveled like a prune.
Absolutely.
And the petals were disintegrating. It was like, when you have Fruit Loops and you leave them in milk for ages. It was like that, but with petals.
And when you touch it, that's what your skin feels like.
Disgusting.
Yeah. And slippery as well.
Very slippery.
Remember, we would...
Yeah, because we were oiled up.
We were oiled, and so then... Yeah,
seals.
We would have to...
we were like seals.
Just
Yeah, that's right, because there was that weird milk that they kept putting in.
Yeah, that powder.
Yeah.
But I'd have to be upright in the middle of a very long tub.
And the problem is it was a very long tub, and
I'm
Yerin is
short.
not the tallest person in the world.
You can just say it how it is.
And she was just she needed the purchase of
I
the end of the tub.
to
Yeah, and it just wasn't there.
No.
It wasn't nearly there. It was about a meter away.
Yeah, it's like that far.
So yeah, it was. That was
I
the
was
most
holding
tricky
on for
thing.
dear life to you or the bathtub. But
I mean, in a weird way, though, I think things like that do make those scenes kind of easier, actually, because at least it's fun.
Yeah, it is funny.
Do you know what I mean? You just find the sort of
humor
fun
in it
challenge.
all.
Yeah, the fun challenges of it. But yeah, I'd say definitely the bath scene.
Well, I was thinking that. I was like, the water can't be warm the entire day that they're filming.
Oh,
It's got to get cold.
They kept it. No. They kept it warm. They kept
Almost.
But sort of like warm, do you know? Like
lukewarm?
not not like, yeah, exactly. Not like, oh, you get into a bath and it's lovely.
Or a
Like
spa.
you've left the bath out for 2-3 hours, and then you just come in and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
not
like
cold.
someone sat in it for a bit,
But yeah.
and we're not sure who.
No.
But that's what it felt like, yeah. But no, it wasn't cold. They had this system. Didn't they? Where they're like,
It was underneath
Warmed
the
it up.
bathtub and it would
Yeah.
rise. Some
Yeah.
electric thing would rise.
I can't believe we weren't more stressed. Something
That
electric.
actually sounds really dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, walking into the Queen's Ball together, how does it differ from the masquerade experience? And Benedict's proposal in front of everyone also has like this added weight to it that he's kind of declaring his love for her in front of everyone after she's kind of been legitimized behind closed doors.
Mm.
I'm like, he's mine.
Yeah. But we were talking yesterday, it's that little detail about the fact that she has been legitimized over a small fudge on the truth. Like, and I love that because I feel like it's the perfect reverse image of the first Masquerade Ball, because the first Masquerade Ball is all disguise and all fantasy or lies because they're all wearing masks and they have this little connection. And at the end, it's like, it's all out of the open. Everything's true except this tiny little fudge.
thing. Yeah.
It's like almost like she's learnt to sort of like enjoy a little bit of fantasy, and there's like a little bit of fantasy in her life, and there's a bit of reality in his. But yeah, it's it's nice. It's a nice sort of mirror image, isn't it, to go back?
Yeah.
There's lovely dance as well.
Beautiful.
It was
dance.
nice to dance with you. Yeah, we did what did we perfect? What was it called?
The fleckle.
We perfected the fleckle. Apparently, it takes dancers years to perfect it. But yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was hard. But
it was.
We got there.
We got there.
Yeah, we did.
I was wondering if Benedict gave her like a speed dance lesson before, because clearly she wasn't too keen on dancing before.
This is a theory that we keep toying with. But I feel like, downstairs people, they have some time to kill.
Yeah.
I always say that maybe Alfie gave her some dancing lessons on the side. Just to keep her up to speed.
Alfie's a real MVP this season.
Alfie, love him. David plays him so well, and I adore him.
Great actor.
Yeah.
That brings me to the wedding, because you guys get to have a lovely wedding at my cottage.
Yes.
What was it like getting to film that sequence?
It was beautiful. I mean, I think it's a perfect way to end the season. But in terms of filming it, Yerin doesn't like that much attention. And so walking down the aisle,
it felt like your wedding.
It felt like a wedding.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, I should be saving this for when I actually get married.
Yeah, it's. I guess you don't think that you'll be doing that first in a make-believe context.
Exactly.
Maybe. Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I thought I'd. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's quite odd, isn't it?
It's funny.
Yeah. I think it's nice also because we had such a good time at my cottage when we filmed, and that was just us two. And then to bring the whole cast to that place and everyone in the story, to have like the Crabtrees there as well, and obviously the whole
really
family.
was
really
like
cool.
it did feel like like a sentimental get together.
Yeah.
On a final note, looking ahead to the future, the show's been renewed for seasons 5 and 6. Can we anticipate seeing, Benedict and Sophie back on our screens? And, what do you hope to see from them in the future?
I just hope they're happy.
I hope they're happy,
Yeah.
but also
I hope
some
they're happy
bickering is. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now.
But yeah, no, I do. I think we'll see.
A little bit of healthy bickering.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like they'll always bicker, don't you?
I mean, yeah.
I feel like they've always got a little.
Look at me.
Exactly. No, but I think they do have that sort of dynamic.
Yeah,
so.
they do.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm also interested to see where it goes.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah.
Well, I like that they have one foot in the cottage and then one foot still in society, which
Yeah.
is like a nice way to end the season.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want them to spend more time at my cottage though.
Me too.
It's so nice there.
Another little camp trip.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
a Bridgerton family
Exactly.
gathering. They can
Yeah.
host it.
Yeah.